Hi and welcome to GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions, and welcome for my to my video on what's in my camera bag 2017, and we're currently in June. And it's a nice sunny day in the UK. It's a bit windy, so apologies for the wind noise. Hopefully it should be okay. So I'll start off with the bag that I have, and that is the Olympus Pen Bag, and it's a lovely bag. I think these were like a special offer with some of the Olympus Pen cameras. I just picked up two of these on eBay. I've got this one and a smaller one for my other half's camera, and they're lovely bags because they're quite discreet. They've got that sort of leather distressed supple look, really nice supple camera. It's wearing really nice, and it's one of those bags that's going to get better with age. So I'll quickly go through it. It's a tiny little bag. There's a little pocket at the back which I can get my iPad mini in there, which is great. Little pockets on the sides, and that keeps like batteries in, and I'll go through what's in this pocket later. Open the flap up. There's a little zipper there which I've just got SD cards in the little pouch there. This one's nice because you've then got a zipper, so people can't just sneak in and nick your gear. So there's no other compartments or anything, so we'll dive straight in and we get the camera. So my current camera is the Panasonic Lumix G80 or G85, depending on where you are in the world. Here in the UK it's the G80, so that's how I refer to it. Stunning camera. I've got no interest in changing, or I've got no desire or wants for any other camera. I've looked at all the systems, the Sonys, the Fujis, the Olympuses, the Nikons and Canons. You can just forget it. Yeah, and different things. But ultimately, this camera does everything I want and more. Very happy with it. I'll go through just some of the great features of it. Obviously, you've got the tilty flippy screen, which to me is an essential thing in cameras now. I can forego it on a small camera, but this is just so handy and it works brilliantly. And what makes me laugh about this is when people say, like the screens that just flip up from the bottom and then you can't flip them round and all that. People say, oh well, that's a good thing because it's so much quicker to flip the screen just up rather than do that or do that. It's like, well, sorry, what? I don't know. Anyway, I think that's the best screen system. Not saying it because it's Panasonic, because Canon used this, Nikon have used it. My opinion is that the best system for a screen on the back of the camera, a tilty screen, is one that comes out that you can do selfies with on the side. These ones that go under the top and the bottom are why not stick it out on the side? It's just the best all-round system. Anyway, EVF is fantastic. It shoots fast, it shoots accurate. The autofocus is fantastic. Even the continuous autofocus, from what I've seen, seems to be better than some of the reviews I've seen of the GH5. A lot of the people, when they're showing these, Max Yuriev's video showing the autofocus on the GH5, I did a very unscientific simulation of exactly what he was doing, and this stayed in focus all the time, and the GH5 was half the time missing focus, it just wouldn't focus. I've never had any problems like that with this. It's not perfect and it's not Canon 80D quality, but it's absolutely fine for most situations, so I'm happy with that. Burst rates are fantastic. 4K video, you've got all the 4K photo mode, you've got the you can have it simulating like a sliding rig, you can have it simulating pull-in focus. There's all kinds of wonderful things about it, which I love. One of the most important things I found with this camera is my hit rate on in-focus photos is better than any camera I've ever owned, period. And surely that's a good thing, isn't it? I think so. The only downside of that is that I have to delete hundreds of photos that are perfectly usable. It's like, whereas when I used to have the Nikons, I'd sort of like take maybe 20 photos and 3 of them would be in focus, maybe 10 would be and then the others would be out of focus. This just gets it right 90% of the time. It's fantastic. So anyway, moving swiftly on. The lens I have on here, obviously 4K video, 4K photo modes, all that. I don't know if I mentioned that. Yeah, great. Oh, it doesn't overheat. Dun dun dun. Lens I have on it is the Panasonic 12-35 f2.8 Pro lens, and it's the Mark 1 version, and it does work with dual IS, just not dual IS2. Not sure what the difference is, but I've done all the firmware updates on the camera body and the lens, and it works fantastically. I love it. The image stabilisation is spooky good. I think the previous best camera for that was the OMD EM5 Mark II that I had. That had stunning image stabilisation, crap autofocus. This is as good as, if not better, and you've got much better autofocus. Brilliant. So that's that. What else we got in here? Not a lot. Not a lot. Probably my most favourite lens of all time, oddly enough, is one of my cheapest. It's the venerable 45-150 Panasonic f4 to f5.6. Cheapo, £100 second hand, 150 quid new lens. Nothing spectacular about it. There's no buttons on it. There's nothing on it whatsoever. But what it gives you is a 90-300mm lens, so fantastic reach, in a tiny, tiny little. I doubt that there's anything much smaller than that unless you get into Panasonic Pentax Q systems that will give you this zoom range in this size. The images are sharp, they're contrasty. I get fantastic bokeh and shallow depth of field because of the, when you're zoomed out to 300, you get that compression, so you get really nice bokeh with this lens. Great portrait lens. I've proved it many a time. And it weighs nothing. It adds nothing to the system. It's actually smaller and lighter than the 12-35, but are roughly the same kind of length when it's closed. But yeah, it's a little bit narrower. But yeah, so that's the system so far. Lovely lens. And then finally, the little Olympus. Now this is the lens that I've always said embodies Micro Four Thirds. Now, I've done the Sonys and different other systems, and I've looked at Fujis and things like that, and I don't really include the Fuji in this, but the Sony is a prime example. Lovely compact bodies, nice to hold, touchy-feely, massive big-ass lenses you have to stick on the front. What's the point of that? If you're going to carry, if you're going to go to a small system, go to a small system. If people like the Sony system, that's fine. I've not got any problems with that. But for me, I wanted to downsize my system so I can carry it all quite comfortably in. Oh, it says quite comfortably. There you go. In one hand. That's my system. Now you can't do that with the Sonys and get this quality. You just can't. Right. So that's that. Yeah, the 45-1.8. There we go. So yeah, so it's a great little portrait lens. It's a great, environmental portraits, landscapes. It's quite good for if you want a bit of compression. So it's a 90mm equivalent. It's just a stunning little lens. It weighs virtually nothing. You can stick it in your pocket when you go out. There's no reason ever not to take it out with you. It's just fantastic. Not particularly expensive, but a great lens. Obviously no image stabilisation, but with the G80 it uses the in-body image stabilisation, so with that added to this lens, fantastic. I absolutely love it. So the only other thing I carry in this bag is in here, and hopefully this will prove in a way that I'm not a Panasonic fanboy for any idiot that calls me or anyone else a fanboy, and I do believe you're an idiot. Feel free to comment. Sony. I carry a little Sony, and this is the RX100 Mark 1, and I've had the Mark, I think I had the Mark 2 or 3, the one with the hot shoe on it I had as well, but this is the one I've kept. It's got no flippy out screen, nothing, it's just tiny and produces fantastic images, and this is a great little complement to this system, and I love it. Sometimes we just take this out, sometimes we take it with all the kit, but a fantastic little camera. I mean, in my opinion, the RX100 line, we're up to Mark 5 I think it is now, must be due a Mark 6 soon, is fantastic, because I think when this camera first came out it was about £600-700. You can pick these up now for less than a couple of £100, but they're still fantastic cameras. Yes, they're adding new things on all the time to the new ones, but just as a little point and shoot, you cannot beat this. And yes, I know people mostly use their iPhones, I do myself, and things like that, but this blows away anything like that. You know, the images you get out of this are just fantastic. So I love my little Sony RX100, and I don't care that it's the Mark 1 either. In fact, my opinion is it's one of the better ones, because it's definitely the smallest one. There you go. And that's it. So that's the What's in My Camera Bag 2017. Now, what I used to do on my YouTube channel was I'd swap camera systems around all the time, mainly for my YouTube channel, but it's getting too expensive to do that, and I'm going to put up a video which will highlight those issues even more. But when you look at what, I mean, even Panasonic are charging for the GH5 now. I mean, I had a GH3 and a GH4, and to my mind that was like £1,000 camera. Now all of a sudden it seems to be a £2,000 camera, and everyone's okay with that. Well, I'm not. Some of the Sonys are ridiculous money. Fujis are not so bad, but still quite expensive, and so are the lenses. You know, and when you get into things like Sony A9 and stuff like that, it's just forget it. You're talking spending more money on your camera than my car. So yeah, that's not going to happen. Anyway, so I'm perfectly happy with this camera. I've got no interest in changing it. There's nothing on the market that I would want to ditch. If money was no object, I'd probably go Fuji X-T2 maybe, or if money was no object and there was a Fuji X-T3 come out, I'd probably go for that. But that's the only system I'd sort of look at changing to, because it's still a compact system. It would still give me the lenses I would want, but at the moment, so I'm perfectly happy with this. And the beauty of this again is it's a camera that I shoot JPEG. I sort it all out in the camera. I go straight onto my iPad or my Mac, and then I either print the photos, put them online. I have canvases printed. I do very little post-production unless I'm looking for a specific kind of look. And I'm perfectly happy with this camera. Not to everyone's tastes, but and it's not a particularly stylish looking camera, but it's comfortable. The ergonomics are absolutely fantastic. Everything's where you want it. It just does everything I want, so I'm perfectly happy with it. So anyway, this is GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. I'll see you soon. Bye.